Great. All right. Kirsty's here. Let's see her. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you for being here on a Saturday.
Oh, thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you so much.
So Kirsty's tuning in from Scotland. She has a really incredible story, and she is a graduate of our program. And I saw her pop up on Facebook with another win, and I reached out right away because here's the cool thing is like with thinking results, when you agree, Kirsty, that you just keep getting a return on it, like your life just keeps getting better and better and better, like it never ends because you have it for the rest of your life, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So I keep seeing you pop up with these amazing wins. I'm like, of course, this is happening for her. So I messaged her and I said, hey, listen, can I interview you? I know that you'll inspire so many. I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about where you were before you jumped into thinking of results. What were you experiencing and what's happened since?
I suppose before I jumped into it, I had a couple of things that had happened where I realised that I was getting some results. One of those was a programme that I was interested in going onto in the States called the Saltire Fellowship. I kept seeing things around that, and I thought one day I would love to do that. And I just didn't have the income to basically support that. So I, at the time, was running two social enterprise businesses supporting lots of different people in communities across Scotland. And yeah, it was very hard. I wasn't earning what I should have been earning. Things were quite tricky. I could not see how I could possibly get onto this programme. And then I thought, I'm going to apply anyway. I'll give it a go. Applied and was very fortunate to get some funding from the Scottish Government and managed to get out to Boston for 8 weeks and Silicon Valley for a week. So that was really the start of it. And then about 6 months later, Danielle came to Scotland, did a seminar with me in my building in the Circle, which I run in Scotland. And yeah, I signed up to Thinking in Results and haven't looked back.
And so what happened when you because you're up to a lot, and I remember when we first started talking, you're like, I don't even know how I can fit in a program into my life, like how I can fit thinking of results in. That was one thing, like that piece was a win for you, being open on how you could do that because you were so busy. How has one of the questions we got was like, I'm a busy mom, how can I fit this in? So what have you learned about time and your effectiveness through this work? Like, how has that opened up for you?
I think that I have started to prioritize myself much more. And I think like a lot of women, we don't put ourselves first. There's always going to be priorities out there. There's always going to be things that we have to deal with. But I think what Thinking in Results did was it gave me a schedule. It gave me something to change my routine. It was that daily sort of operating model that I needed to look at and just think, actually, what can I change here? And I wanted to change something because what I was doing was not working. I'd gained a lot of weight. The businesses I was running were successful for other people, but they weren't particularly successful for me. So it gave me an opportunity to, I think, look at things in a different way. I studied first thing in the morning. I did my gratitude every day. Everything shifted and I had more time. I had actually more time. And I think that's what I recognized from this work is you can be a busy fool, until you just decide that actually things have to change. You just end up, you're doing all the wrong things for all the wrong reasons. And I think that's what's massively changed for me.
That's huge. You're doing all the wrong things and you don't even know what the wrong things are until you get into the work.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. It just shines a light on it. And it doesn't just leave you there. It shows you what to do,
absolutely.
Right? What to focus your energy on. That's huge. But so you become more effective. Now you've prioritized yourself. You become way more healthy. About that. You have bought your dream home on your own.
On my own, yes.
How many bedrooms does this home have again?
4 bedrooms, which was a complete surprise to everyone because I am now single with a dog, and I think everyone was a bit shocked that, one, why did I need it? And I thought, well, I want it because that's something that you're not taught either, is actually it's okay to want things. Just because you don't need them, it's okay to want them. And I think that's something that I wanted it for all the right reasons. I have a big social network. When COVID passes, hopefully I'll get to see my friends a bit more, but they're all around the UK and the world, and I want to be able to have a house that's open to them to stay in. I think that was huge. I was able to do that through this work, and I visualized it. The house that I wanted absolutely ticks the box of everything that I was journaling about. So it's all here. It's amazing.
And of course, it got attracted to you because you use this work. And don't you find that as it comes into your life, you're really good at this? You're like, yeah, I asked for that, so there it is. Yeah,
yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I do that. I find I do that a lot. And I think other people watching in on that are thinking, what's changed with you? There's something. They can't put their finger on it. And it's not something that I discuss a lot is this work because it's personal to me. It's something that I want to do for me. And I think that's a huge thing. And actually, people are not ready to hear some of this yet. I think that's a huge thing. But I've attracted the right people in as well.
That's so good. And not everyone is ready. So I often say that, like, on an event like this, the people that have been attracted, they're here for a reason because they are ready, you know. That's something to really recognize. And I heard Bob say, you know, when the student's ready, the teacher appears.
Absolutely. And I think I'd been, prior to you, it was actually through our mutual friend, Catherine, that this was set up. And she's very into this as well. And I think that she'd said, can I have Danielle to do a session at your building in the Circle in Dundee? And I said, absolutely. You would not believe, but I've been reading The Secret, The Laws of Attraction, and been getting quite into that recently. So again, I totally believe you came at the right time.
So cool. There's no coincidence. So we have lots of people thinking and really wondering if this is for them today. And, you know, they've attracted listening to you, your beautiful accent. We're hearing that they love your accent. I love that.
Thank you.
What would you say to them as they're, you know, wondering, is this too good to be true? Or, you know, can this really work? What would you tell them?
I would say just be brave, go for it, because I haven't looked back. And that was, we met 3 years ago in April, and my life is completely transformed. It's nothing like the way it was operating at the time. Everything, I'm happier in myself, which is the key to all of this. I'm grateful for everything that I have in my life. And I'm so grateful to you, Danielle, for everything that you've done to support as well. So I think get involved in this because it really can change the way things are going. And I mean, one of the things you touched on was my health. And as someone who was a serial social entrepreneur, setting up businesses, it was something that I wasn't considering myself in that. I put on a lot of weight and I've now lost 4 stone. I've exercised regularly. I'm a completely physically a different person to the person I was, but also I think just mentally I'm stronger. I'm able to take things on much better. And I think that, why would you not want to invest in a program that can support you to do that? I think that's what I would say.
Yeah, it's almost like irresponsible if you don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've attracted it to you.
And we don't get taught this stuff. We don't get taught to actually invest in your mind and the power of the mind to actually push you forward in life. You don't get taught any of that anywhere. So I think it's really important that we start to, I actually studied psychology when I was younger, and this just brings everything forward for me. I mean, it's so important, the power of the mind and decision making in your attitude and everything. And my decision making has improved so much as well. I was very decisive. I knew when I wanted to do something that I had to just take the plunge, and that's the way I've been. But I would say I'm more direct now. I know exactly where I want to go, and that change has been recognised in my family and my friends. They've all commented on it as well, the change in me as a result. So yeah, why would you not want something positive for yourself like that?
That's so great. Let's rhyme off all the things that have happened, just like from your memory as best you can. Because there's like, when we say this course, like you invest once and it continues to give to you. You continue to get a return on that investment. Let's get an idea of someone, you know, that's done this. We first met 3 years ago. So let's think what that is. So you started, what started happening first?
First of all, I think it was that focus on my health. That was what I wanted to prioritize, and I wanted to get my businesses in a better position as well. So first of all, I merged the businesses, so they are now one company, and that made everything much easier for me to operate. I made changes in my staff team. I brought in the people who could support me, who had the expertise around me. I built a senior management team. I've employed a further 10 individuals into my company. From there, things significantly changed in my relationship. And that was a huge change for me. I'd been with my partner at the time for 7 years. And I realized that we weren't aligned in where we were going in life, and we wanted very different things. And he was of the opinion that everything I was putting out there was sort of fairy tale dreamland. It's never going to be achievable. It was all these things. And I started to see that I was getting the results I talked about. So there was something wrong with our relationship. So fortunately, I would say, I made a decision to separate from him, and wasn't sure how that would work out. Within around probably 6 months of separating from him, I moved back in with my parents, which most people would probably think was a backward step at 41 years old, 42 years old. But that allowed me to get a deposit together, and I bought my first house last year. And on from there, I managed to get some significant funding in for my business last year, and that continues to grow. We're about to expand across Scotland right now into another site, which is a huge win. And the plan is to roll out that model right across Scotland. So I believe that that's possible. And I'm every day getting approached by someone who can help in that journey. And I suppose more recently, again, last year, I looked into what I wanted to do with finance. Money had always been an issue. I'd been brought up in a working class family. We were always told a lot of the thing that we touched on in the paradigm work that we did around, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, you can't afford this, you can't do that. All these typical things that I'm sure many of the people listening have heard. And I think through the process of working on the money mindset, it actually started to attract more money into my life. So I was earning more, I was able to buy myself more. And last year I decided, well, yes, what I'm doing right now in Scotland is fantastic, but the long game, how can I help even more people? Well, I would want to be looking at some sort of investment, but impact investment. So at that time, a programme came up. It was at Oxford University, one of the top universities in the UK. Again, thinking, I don't know if this is for me. It's a bit out of my price range. Went through an interview, got part of my scholarship funded, and I started on that programme actually last week with another 59 individuals from 29 countries around the world. So I'm in such a different position to the position I was in when we met 3 years ago. And I think I see these results showing up every single day in small ways, some are huge wins.
I just got shivers. It's because, like, does everyone listening understand that the tools that Kirsty gained in the program, she just keeps applying them. And that's why she got a yes to Oxford, and attracted part of it being paid for. There's no coincidences when you understand this. It's like you just ask and it comes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think I've stopped wondering, wait, how it's going to come. I think I've started to just say, well, that's what I want. That's my focus.
Because you know how it works.
Yeah.
You know how it works because that's what we teach you. And so now there's no guessing out of it. Mm-hmm. And so one of the questions we got, success leaves clues. What does that mean? This is what we mean. Mm-hmm. So Kirsty understands the laws of success. She learned them through this program. She applies them to her life on a daily basis. There's no guessing. And she understands that whatever she wants is for her. And yeah, there's doubt. Like there's doubt at next levels, right? For sure. Yeah. We've got our tools. And so we ask, we apply the work, we believe, and then we receive it. And it is that easy. And from the outside, people go, oh my gosh, she's so lucky. Look at her, da, 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 da. But it's not luck, you guys. She understands it through study.
Yeah. And I think the massive thing, the sort of final piece that I'm working on right now is my intention through this was to obviously get fitter and healthier. And one of the big things is losing 4 stone, which is huge. I'm on target to lose the final half a stone, and that's me at my target weight that I've set myself as well. And the speed at which that's happening now is truly, truly different.
Because your body is an instrument of the mind.
Yeah.
Everything originates in the mind. Mm-hmm. Everything. So proud of you. Thank you for your time today. You look fabulous. Your energy is fabulous as always. And I'm really proud of you. It's just, I love seeing your posts and how you inspire so many. So continue to share your story and your journey, because you're inspiring so many people in Scotland. Like, you know, how cool is that? And I know the cool thing is for each one of you, what I know for Kirsty, I know for you is that the best is yet to come. Always.
Yeah. And thank you so much for everything as well.
Thank you. Thank you for